Hello and welcome to another of these thoughts while I'm walking the dog from a cold and snowy London. And today I wanted to talk about the incredible boom we're seeing in podcasting and audiobooks. Why is it happening? And why do I think it's only just got started? The answer is quite simple. The human brain likes absorbing information, words in particular, through the ear. It is wired to do that. We only started writing things down as a means to transfer information over time or distance, beyond the reach of the human voice, in other words. But we don't absorb words as well through the page as we do the ear. And thanks to the internet, smartphones, AirPods, home speakers and all the rest of it, we now seem to be rediscovering this oral potential. And I know that I learnt more about what I know about gold, Bitcoin, financial markets and so on by listening to podcasts than by reading books. It's an incredibly effective medium to transfer and absorb information. I barely seem to have read a book this last few years. I don't know if I'm alone in this, but every time I'm about to read a book, about to read something, I seem to reach for my phone instead. But audio isn't in competition with your phone. You can absorb audio while you're doing something else, going for a walk, going for a run, driving the car. And I love audio. I've practically lived in a sound studio most of my working life. I must have narrated over 1,000 documentaries, Lord knows how many ads, cartoons, and whatever else. And for me, the beauty of the spoken word is that our appreciation of it is innate. Now, I have a particular fondness for the concept albums of the 1970s, which mixed spoken word with music. The War of the Worlds is my favourite, but also much loved the likes of the Village Green Preservation Society, The Wall, Space Oddity and Sgt. Pepper. But sadly, the album as a form started to die a death around the turn of the century with the arrival of iTunes, iPods, Spotify and so on. And funnily enough, the same thing that caused the decline of the album, changing technology, was responsible for its rise as a form in the first place. The 78 RPM records of the pre-World War II era would have had just one song on each side, but after the war we saw the emergence of 33 RPM. You could store more on a record, 15 to 20 minutes or so per side, and so the way was paved for the rise of the album. Tech determines form. And with the invention of the printing press, pamphlets, unbound books basically became widespread, often very political and religious in content. They were an important tool for disseminating anti-establishment sentiment, especially in the lead up to the US and French revolutions. But the better bookbinding technology that emerged in the 19th century, especially magazines, meant that the pamphlet began to fade as a medium. Now, the internet has come along and upended publishing once again, and the highly opinionated, politicised opinion of the pamphlet has found a new outlet through blogs, vlogs and social media. Could concept albums also see something of a resurgence with today's audio technology? That's my idea anyway, and the potential of spoken word and music is tremendous. Radio is the most visual medium, they say, because it lives in the mind of the listener. And it's at this point of the chat that I will try and shill you something. As an experiment, I put together a concept album that mixed spoken word and audio. It's a sci-fi rock drama about invisibility, set 10 years in the future. A police officer investigating county lines and the rise of drug use in his rural community discovers that dealers have been using some kind of invisibility coat. His investigations lead him into a new world of techno-anarchists who develop the coats to defend against state and corporate invasion of privacy. Their invention is a force for good, but also a force for evil. Now, as you've probably noticed, the story is very much a metaphor for Bitcoin, and it's all set to the most brilliant rock guitar soundtrack from a chap called Asaf Zohar, who I approached after I saw him perform in a theatre show a few years ago that he scored. Now, I have to say, I haven't sold that many copies. I've sold like 250. So either it's rubbish, or nobody knows about it, or, like most things in my life, I'm early. But nevertheless, I'm going to play you a little bit of it now, and if you like it, please download it from Audible or iTunes. It's only like £3 or something, and share it with a friend and all that stuff. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and here is the Shadowpunk Revolution, or an extract from it anyway.
Who would have believed that by the year 2029, invisibility would be possible? Shadowpunk Revolution, a sci-fi rock drama about invisibility, out now on Audible and iTunes.